Welcome back. Tonight I have 4 stories for you. Each one real, each one submitted to Reddit. Get comfortable and let's begin.
I'm standing in our dark living room, my heart racing, as I stare at my boyfriend sitting on the couch, his eyes fixed on some unknown point in front of him. And I'm thinking, what is going on here? The clock on the wall reads 12:45 a.m., and I have no idea why I woke up, but something drew me to this moment. I approach him, my voice barely above a whisper. WTF are you doing? Not accusatory, just genuinely confused. And do you know what he said next? He told me he couldn't sleep, that he was just sitting in the dark, but there's something about his tone that doesn't sit right with me. I press him for more information, not because I'm trying to be nosy, but because this whole scene feels off. And that's when he explodes. I don't have to explain every detail of my life to you, he snaps, his voice rising, and I'm taken aback. Shocked even. Where is this coming from? We've always had good boundaries, respected each other's independence. What's changed? He storms back into the bedroom, leaving me standing there, feeling devastated, and more than a little confused. As I stand there, trying to process what just happened, I realize that this isn't just about this one moment. It's about the fact that our relationship has been feeling stagnant for a while now. We've only been intimate twice in 2025. Twice. I've tried to talk to him about it, to ask if everything is okay, if his feelings have changed, but he's always brushed it off, told me he loves me, and that I shouldn't question it. But now I'm starting to wonder. Is he hiding something from me? Is there something going on that I don't know about? I think back to all the times I've asked him if everything is okay, and he's always told me that everything is fine. But now I'm not so sure. I'm starting to feel furious, not just at him, but at myself for not pushing harder for answers. I'm starting to wonder if I've been blind to the signs, if I've been ignoring the little things that don't add up. And that's when it hits me. I need to talk to him, to have a real conversation about what's going on, about how I'm feeling. I need to know if he's still invested in this relationship, or if he's just going through the motions. As I walk back into the bedroom, I can feel the tension between us. It's palpable. But I take a deep breath, and I sit down next to him, and I start to talk. I tell him how I'm feeling, how I've been feeling, and I ask him to be honest with me, to tell me what's going on. And you know what? He listens. He really listens, and for the first time in a long time, we have a real conversation. It's not easy, and it's not always comfortable, but it's necessary. And as we talk, I start to feel a sense of resolution, a sense of closure. I realize that I've been holding on to this relationship, hoping that it would get better, but maybe it's time to let go. Maybe it's time to move on. And as I lie there, next to him, I feel a sense of peace wash over me. I know that no matter what happens next, I'll be okay.
All right, story number 2. If you're vibing with tonight's lineup, tap the like button. Takes 1 second. Appreciate it. Now let's get into this.
I'm still trying to process the mix of emotions that have been swirling inside me for months, the pain, the anger, the feeling of being utterly betrayed. It all started when I was accused of something I didn't do, something that made my blood run cold, sexually assaulting a kid at my karate class. I was suspended, interviewed by the police, and told I was under investigation. And just like that, my girlfriend, the person I thought I could count on, cut me off completely, no explanation, no support, just silence. I was devastated, feeling like I'd been punched in the gut. She said she believed me, but she couldn't support me because her ex would use it against her in their bitter divorce battle. And that was it. She blocked my number, email, social media. It was like I didn't exist. I was left to deal with the investigation, the shame, the fear of being wrongly accused, all on my own. And do you know what she said next? Nothing. Complete radio silence. The days turned into weeks, and the weeks turned into months. I was in a dark place, feeling lost and alone. But then, the investigation was dropped, and I was finally told I was innocent. The kid had admitted it wasn't me, but another guy at the class. I was relieved, but also angry that I'd been put through this, angry that my girlfriend had abandoned me when I needed her most. I decided to cut ties with the karate organization, to burn my suit, my kit, everything. I blocked everyone from the class, and I told them to leave me alone. It was a symbolic gesture, a way of closing that chapter of my life. And then, out of the blue, my girlfriend tried to contact me, asking to meet up and pick up where we left off. I was furious. How could she just waltz back into my life like nothing had happened? I blocked her without even responding, and she's been trying to get in touch with me through my parents ever since. But I'm not having it. I'm not ready to forgive her, not yet. I'm treating her like she treated me, with silence, with distance. And my family is trying to convince me to see sense and reconcile with her, but I'm not listening. I'm still trying to process my emotions, to figure out what I want. And right now, I just want to be left alone. As I look back on everything that's happened, I'm left with one question: was I wrong to cut her off? Am I the one who's being unreasonable? But the more I think about it, the more I realize that I'm not the one who's in the wrong. I was the one who was hurt, who was abandoned when I needed support. And now, I'm the one who's trying to heal, to move on. I'm not sure if I'll ever be able to forgive her, but for now, I'm just taking things one day at a time. And that's all I can do.
Real quick, if this is the kind of content you like, subscribe. It genuinely helps more than you'd think. Alright, moving on. Story number 3.
I'm sitting here, feeling utterly devastated, as I replay the conversation I just had with my boyfriend, and I'm still trying to process how he could say something so hurtful. We've been together for 2 years, and at first, everything was great: the intimacy, the connection, the passion, but lately, it's been a struggle. He either finishes too early or doesn't finish at all, and I've been left feeling frustrated, confused, and now, completely insecure. I remember the first time I asked him about it. I was nervous, unsure of how he would react, but I needed to know what was going on. "Why do you leave mid-act?" I asked, trying to sound calm, but inside, I was furious and hurt. He told me he felt some kind of pain, and I said, "Then don't walk away like that. I feel lonely, just leave it and be with me." The conversation ended there, but I couldn't shake off the feeling that there was more to it, and I was right. I asked him again today, and this time, he dropped a bombshell. He told me that he didn't want to hurt my feelings, but the real reason why he didn't want to finish was that my birthing canal is too big, therefore he doesn't feel anything. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. Does he really think that's something I can control? And do you know what she said next? Nothing, because I was too stunned to respond. I feel like I've been punched in the gut. All these feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt are swirling inside me. Is it true that you can grow too much, and your significant other doesn't feel anything? I don't even know what to do about it. It's not something that I can fix, no matter how hard I try. I'm left wondering if I'm just not good enough, if I'm somehow broken, and it's a thought that's tearing me apart. As I sit here, trying to make sense of it all, I realize that this isn't just about my boyfriend's opinions or feelings, it's about mine too. I deserve to feel loved, respected, and desired, regardless of my physical characteristics. And I'm starting to think that maybe, just maybe, this is a sign of deeper issues in our relationship, issues that need to be addressed, and fast. I'm not sure what the future holds, but I do know that I won't let his words define me. I am more than my body, and I am worthy of love and acceptance, no matter what.
Story number 4. Before we go, let me know in the comments which story tonight hit the hardest. Okay, this next one's a good one.
I'm sitting here, feeling utterly devastated, wondering how it all fell apart. My 6-year relationship, the one I thought was unbreakable, the one I poured my heart and soul into, I met her in the 11th grade just before the pandemic and we instantly clicked. She was struggling with depression, and I, with my savior complex, thought I could help her through it. I remember noticing the scars on her arms, but I didn't push the issue. I just knew it was a sensitive topic, and I was happy to be there for her, to be her rock. As we navigated our relationship, I watched her grow. I watched her become a stronger, more confident person. It took her about 3 to 5 years, but she finally found her footing. And I, on the other hand, started to change for the worse. The pandemic in college took a toll on me, and I found myself becoming increasingly negative, worn down by the constant stress. But I thought it was worth it, to see her smile, to be there for her. We had our ups and downs, especially during our thesis year in college, and I have to admit I was the one who gave up easily. I would push her away when I was feeling down, telling her all the reasons why she should leave me. It was a pattern, one that I had grown accustomed to, one that I thought was necessary to keep her happy. But she knew that I was bottling up my emotions, and she wanted us to talk properly. To work through our issues, to find a way to communicate that didn't involve me pushing her away. And I tried, I really did. I applied for a job, an online English tutoring job, and I started working on my portfolio. But it wasn't easy, and I found myself struggling, feeling like I was failing. And I started to fall back into my old habits, gaming for hours on end while she was out there, pursuing her own goals, training for her job in a call center. And then, the final blow. She stopped talking to me, and I was left feeling shocked, feeling like I had lost my anchor. She was busy. She had problems at work, and she had found someone else to confide in, someone she trusted. And I was left feeling like I had failed her, like I had failed myself. I pleaded with her to give me another chance, but she was firm. She told me that I had changed, that I had become a red flag for her, and that she needed to let me go. Not just for herself, but for me, so that I could finally grow as a person. As I sit here, reflecting on it all, I'm left feeling a mix of emotions. I'm furious with myself for not being able to be the person she needed, for not being able to grow and change with her. But I'm also relieved that she's finally free from the toxic cycle that our relationship had become. And I'm left wondering, what could I have done differently? What could I have done to save our relationship? But most of all, I'm left with a sense of resolve, a sense of determination, to grow, to change, to become a better person, one who is worthy of love and respect. And as I look back, I realize that I was stuck in my own ways, stuck in my own fears, and I'm grateful that she had the courage to move on, to find someone who can be there for her, to support her, to love her for who she is.
And that's all for tonight. If any of these stories resonated with you, you know what to do. Sleep well.